Obviously, we got a ton of Overwatch 2 news. Like, we got the ready, check, prepare for launch, and let's start off with defense matrix, because this is where it gets really, really interesting, right? And things start to get a little bit crazier. I'm going to zoom in a little bit because I need to be zoomed in for whatever reason. It's so zoomed out. So, defense matrix activated, fortifying gameplay integrity and positivity in Overwatch 2. So basically, the defense matrix initiative is to increase the quality of matches in Overwatch, right? Get rid of cheaters, help get rid of throwers, toxicity, you name it, right? So let's go over a couple of the big things and talk about like what they're actually doing here, right? So Overwatch 2 is going free to play, which is great. So yeah, basically it's driven by the belief the game should be played and enjoyed by alongside friends. On October 4th, we're excited to welcome even more players into our universe. While this is an exciting time, we also recognize that free-to-play introduces new challenges in how we decentivize disruptive behavior in gameplay. We're ready to meet these challenges head on with a new initiative we're calling Defense Matrix, which I actually think the theme of this is cool. Like, a lot of these big companies have like different names for their anti-cheats, and I think Defense Matrix is definitely perfect for Overwatch. So whoever came up with the idea to name it Defense Matrix, really, really smart. Great job. Defense Matrix encompasses our infrastructure of systems designed to help protect the integrity of gameplay and promote positive behavior in Overwatch 2. This initiative is spearheaded by a group made up of cross-functional teams throughout Blizzard, and they have defined a set of goals that's guiding our mission to ensure a great experience for all Overwatch 2 players. Define, develop, and nurture a program that will ensure a positive experience for all players. First of all, let me just say this right now, okay? I think a big misconception that a lot of people have is that games are always going to be positive. Like, I think that, like, people, like, look, negativity, like, nothing is all 100% sunshines and daisies, right? No matter where you go in the world, no matter what it is you're doing, like, it's not always going to be fucking fantastic, nice, whatever, especially in a game that's, like, you know, has a competitive mode or gaming, and anything that can be competitive. Positivity, like, it's good, but, like, it's not everything, right? So ensure competitive integrity at every level of play. This is where it gets interesting. By rapidly identifying and eliminating cheaters and disruptive players. Good. Like, people who are throwing and cheating, get banned faster. Great. Create a safer community both in and out of the game. This is where I'm a little nervous. Both in and out of the game by embracing a firm stance against disruptive gameplay and naming players who are both positive and constructive to be leading voices in the community. Okay. What do they mean by in and out of the game? This is something somebody brought up to me, right? Like, does this mean that Blizzard is going to be like just judge, jury, and executioner on people that they deem harmful to like the IP? Because, like, to me, like, when I see in and out of the game, like, to me, this means political. Like, just to be totally honest, like, any figurehead or, like, anybody that Blizzard, who definitely tends to be leaning very heavily on one side, are you going to be banning people that, like, are on the other side of that? Because, again, you guys know, like, what I say about gaming. I think gaming should be neutral, right? Gaming is for everybody. I don't care what your beliefs are. I don't care what you think. I don't care. Like, gaming is for humanity, right? And what does this actually mean? Like, this could just be, you know, some other shit. Like, I don't even know. This could just be, like, poor wording. Could be anything. But, like, to me, seeing that is really, really scary because I want Overwatch to be a global phenomenon. And if, depending on where Blizzard draws the line, that could be potentially really bad for Overwatch as an IP. It could really, really limit the reach that Overwatch has. In my opinion, the best FPS game to ever come out, right? You want it to reach as many people as possible. So where is the line drawn? Like, I don't know. Especially like Quake getting banned last week for calling Doomfist dog shit in chat, right? Maybe it was a couple other things he typed, but like they directly cited that. Like, I don't really trust Blizzard to be the ones drawing the line with where like the culture around the company is right now, personally, right? But I think for the most part, like, this is all a great initiative. It's just the question really becomes, where do you draw the line, right? We'll talk more about this in a little bit, right? So SMS Protect. Basically, you can't even play Overwatch without being SMS verified. It's going to drastically reduce the amount of Smurfs that play the game and pretty much ensure that everybody is, for the most part, on their main account. Means there's going to be less throwers. This is a great change. This is something I've been asking for a very long time, to play competitive. It's the same thing that Warzone has been doing for 2 years. So I think that, you know, this is actually okay. I'm okay with SMS Protect. I think this is a good thing. So here's where it gets really interesting, right? System design. Overwatch is a social game, and with many in-game spaces where players interact, communicate, and work together. These spaces all improve the player experience through gameplay and interaction, whether in competitive, workshop, or quick play. As stewards of Overwatch, we're constantly evaluating our in-game systems as part of this process. We've determined that there were a few spaces that were not meeting expectations and needed improvement heading into the launch of Overwatch 2 and the weeks following. Machine learning audio transcriptions, okay? For years, our team has used machine learning to detect and prevent disruptive behavior, cheating, and disruptive text chat. Our detection methods leverage multiple systems, including your in-game reports, to identify behavior that drives down the quality of the in-game experience. We're expanding our detection capabilities by introducing audio transcriptions in following weeks after launch. Audio transcriptions allow us to collect temporary voice chat of recording of a reported player and automatically transcribe it through speech-to-text programs. The text file is then analyzed for disruptive behavior by our chat review tools. Once the audio recording has been transcribed to text, it's quickly deleted so the file's sole purpose is to identify potentially disruptive behavior. The text file is then deleted no later than 30 days after the audio transcription. The system relies on players reporting disruptive behavior as soon as they encounter it in-game because we do not store voice chat data long-term. This means you should report disruptive behavior as it's occurring in-game to give us the best chance of detecting, catching, and preventing disruptive players. Your reports matter. Player reporting is one of the most effective methods for identifying and actioning disruptive behavior as quickly as possible. Okay. So basically, what this means, chat, is that Blizzard, when Overwatch 2 comes out, will have audio logs of every single word that you say in voice chat for like 30 days, right? So, and then they'll be banning around it. So here's my question. Again, where is the line drawn? Like right now, you have streamers like Quake who get banned for typing "this hero is dog shit" in chat. Banned for saying "this hero is dog shit" in chat. Only if you get reported, right? So like, personally, okay. So I think this is good and bad, and it really depends on where you draw the line, right? Like, if you have kids just like spamming the hard R in voice chat, and this will do a good job of actually catching them, right? But I saw Moneyfolder tweeted this out. I thought this was a funny tweet from him. He said like, okay, well, how is this basically? How is this like? Say like you're African American and or you're black and you say like, you know, the N word with an A at the end, right? I'm not gonna say it obviously, but but how does the machine know? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, are we going to ban people for that? Right? Like, you know what, like, again, where is the line drawn? Like, how does it know? Personally, I'm more on the side that these things should be really lenient. Like, I don't like, at least when it comes to like audio and what people say, because that's really subjective. Like, is it disruptive behavior for me to tell my brig player, like, hey, like, you need to rotate here, like you're doing this wrong. Like we need to do this, like being objective about like how to win. Like this is bad. Like then we start arguing, right? He argues with me, I argue with him. I'm like, no, that's just like dog shit. Like you can't do that. Like that's just a bad play. That's a shit play. The audio log, is that going to see me saying that when I could be objectively right? Like my brig could be feeding and I'm saying, hey, you're feeding. Like, is that toxicity? Because the Overwatch community, like a lot of the people, and especially like how the culture is around Blizzard, they would consider that to be toxic. But you could be objectively right in critiquing the gameplay. So, like, where's the line drawn? Right? Like, if I call someone a shitter, if like, this guy's being a shitter, like, I don't mean that in the way of, like, oh, you're a scumbag human being. It's just like, oh, you're playing bad. Like, it's a bad play. You could objectively be misplaying. And if I say that, am I banned? Like, where's the line drawn, right? Like, I tend to think of, like, ranked games. Like, I think they should be treated like a pickup basketball court. If people are bantering back and forth a little bit, I think that's fine. I really don't think that's that big of a deal. And if that offends you or that hurts your feelings like so bad that you can't play the game, you shouldn't be playing competitive games. I'm sorry, you just shouldn't. At least in comp. I think in quick play, it's a little bit different. But, like, I think friendly banter or just, like, a little bit of banter, a little bit of trash talk, is that all going to be banned? Right? So, you know, where's the line drawn is the big question around this, right? And depending on where Blizzard draws the line, this could end up being a very good feature. But the problem is, based on the culture that I've seen from Blizzard, I think that they're going to over crack down, like without a doubt. Like they're so focused on making like marketing the game as being like a safe space, I guess you could say, that I think that they're willing to go over and beyond. Like you could be objectively right about the gameplay and objectively be trying to win and just be having a disagreement with somebody. And I would not trust Blizzard with where the company's at right here, right now, to be fair and objective about like whether or not people should get banned. And I know I actually, you know, it was really funny. Nate said it. We in our SVB group chat, He said, Samito gonna speedrun a ban. It's like, nah, bro. I say, like, listen, like, I'm very open with the shit that I say. Like, I'm chilling, right? Nor am I saying racist shit in chat, so I'm fine. But, like, where's the line drawn? I don't think that anything objectively based about gameplay should ever get punished by this bot. Ever. Because you can't be objective about the game, then you don't have a game, right? I just don't really trust Blizzard to do that personally. But now we have first-time user experience. I don't even know what this is. Basically, it's about limiting, like, new, like, the first phase of our new first-time user experience unlocks all game modes and the ability to chat in game. The second phase unlocks all Overwatch heroes over approximately 100 matches. So, like, I don't know how to feel about this. Like, I feel like people, I don't know. I mean, basically, it's like, it could be good. It's like a learning curve, basically. It's like, hey, this is how we're going to get you into the game. You need to play 100 matches, get used to some of these characters, and then move on. But I think that's a little off-putting. I think, again, what made Overwatch so appealing to people when it first came out, it's like, once you got the game, you had everything. Like, there was no paywall. There was no, microtransaction wall. Like, you got the game, you're fucking in. You have everything, right? So I'm curious how this is going to play out. I really don't, I don't have a verdict on this because in concept, this is actually good. Right? But we'll have to see how it does when put into practice, guys. We'll have to see how it's done because it's hard for me to comment on this as somebody who's been playing the game for a long time because the game can be overwhelming. So, if it allows more people to get into Overwatch, it's a good thing, right? So, yeah. Giving away rights to feel safer is a slippery slope. Yeah, you're right. Again, it's because, again, you're going into a territory where everything's subjective and, like, there's no, like, easy, oh, yeah, this is right, this is wrong. Like, it's case by case. So if you have an algorithm doing it, when it gets into a case by case situation, you're going to end up making a bigger mess by trying to solve the mess. That sometimes it's just, here's the reality, it's not Blizzard's responsibility. Like, to the degree that people try to make it to. Like, parts of it are absolutely Blizzard's responsibility, like, as the game devs, right? But again, it's ensuring that people aren't throwing is the big thing. How people talk to each other, aside from being blatantly racist and shit like that, like, that's really just not the game company's responsibility, in my opinion. But we'll see. Like you need to let people communicate and figure their own shit out their own. That's not a problem that you can solve, especially with AI. But let's see. I kind of like this. We'll see. Endorsements, don't care about endorsements. Let's see. I don't care about this stuff. I want to look at, there was another thing that people were talking about. What was I forgetting, chat? There was some other big news that came out aside from Defense Matrix. I know I'm missing something. I'll have to think about it, but for the most part, like, I think this stuff could be good. I don't think that Blizzard will do a good job with this system. I don't think they could be objective. I think anything that they deem would compromise the game as a quote-unquote safe space, which is good. Again, like, people should not get harassed for who they are. It's about the game. Like, the game is bigger than any person who picked it up. Like, the game is for humanity, for everybody, right? And that's fantastic. But to the point of what? You can't be objective in game? Like, Quake's getting banned for typing things are dog shit? Like, that's not going to be fun. That's going to drive people away instead of bringing them in my opinion. But we'll have to wait and see. So, yeah, those are kind of my thoughts on all this. We'll see. Going to talk about it more on the SVB podcast, obviously, which should be the 30th. And, yeah, that's kind of all I got for now.